You've probably been told that if a woman isn't interested, you should give up, move on, or try harder to prove yourself. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Women don't lose men because they need them. Women lose men because these men understand how to create a strong emotional presence, even without them. This video isn't about cheap tricks or cheesy pickup lines. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of female psychology and how you can subtly position yourself so that even a woman who initially wasn't interested will think of you when you're not around. It seems impossible, right? But it isn't. The truth is, indifference doesn't last. It's a reaction. And if you know how to reverse that reaction, you can completely change a woman's perception of you. Before you roll your eyes, understand this. Losing a woman doesn't mean chasing after her, begging, or trying to prove your worth. On the contrary, those are the fastest ways to destroy attraction. Women don't respect men who try too hard. What really makes a woman lose a man is the exact opposite of what men do. It's not about being available. The goal is to become unforgettable. In this video, you'll learn exactly how to achieve that. Step by step, I'll show you how to awaken curiosity, respect, and ultimately desire, even from a woman who previously ignored you. And ultimately, you'll realize that winning her over isn't about luck. It's about understanding her psychology and approaching the game differently. 1. Why does pursuing destroy attraction? This is something most men never want to hear. The more you chase a woman, the faster she'll run away. Pursuit may seem natural. You see someone you find desirable. Try to win them over, show your interest, and demonstrate courage. But in female psychology, this almost always happens. Why? Because advertising shifts the power dynamic. Instead of being happy about your attention, she sees you as someone desperately seeking hers. And let's be honest, nobody likes to lose what they already have in abundance. If you constantly call her, text her, or try to impress her, you're only giving her emotional support. She doesn't need to think about you because you're already far too available. Think about it. If someone offered you free food every day, would you never accept it? Probably not. But when that food suddenly disappears, you realize just how much you wanted it. The same principle applies here. Women don't lose the men who court them. They lose the men who create space and mystery. And now comes the twist. The hunt also reveals something dark about you. She seems insecure. She's telling you that you don't feel brave enough to stay silent and let her come to you. And nothing destroys attraction faster than insecurity. Women are attracted to men who have options, value their time, and don't need to beg for attention. So, if you want a woman to lose you for good, even if she's not interested, the first rule is simple. Stop chasing her. Take a step back. Give her time to notice your absence. This silence will speak louder than 100 text messages. Imagine you text a woman 3 times a day and she replies promptly. Instead of making even more of an effort, you don't text her at all for 2 days. What happens? She'll wonder more than ever where you've been. 1. Check out her profile, or, even better, call her right away. By not pressuring her, you create space for her curiosity. 2. Silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. Many men believe that constant communication is the key to winning a woman over. They send a good morning message, check in during the day, and say goodnight. On the surface, this seems like a lot of effort. But in reality, this is the quickest way to obtain her forgiveness. Why? Because words lose their meaning when they are always immediately available. Silence, on the other hand, carries weight. It creates tension. It stimulates the woman to think. And in female psychology, curiosity is far more effective than familiarity. If you remain silent, you give him the opportunity to wonder, why isn't he texting me? What's he doing? Who is he with? This question is the beginning of the end. The truth is, attention is like a river, and silence increases your value. If you constantly bombard her with messages and calls, she'll treat you like an empty shell. Always there, but never anything special. But when you hold back, even just for a while, your attention suddenly feels precious. And people crave what is precious. Don't mistake silence for immaturity, though. This isn't about ignoring them or playing childish games. It's about balance. It's about proving that your world doesn't revolve solely around your messages. A man who doesn't constantly need to control radiates confidence, independence, and self-respect. That's what makes her leave. So remember that. Sometimes the most effective thing you can say to a woman is nothing. Let your silence speak for itself. Imagine you text a woman daily and she suddenly replies less often or takes longer to respond. Most men panic and send even more messages. Instead, you withdraw. You don't write anything for an entire day. What happens? Eventually, she notices the silence, checks her phone, expects your name, and might even contact you herself. That silence had a greater impact than any paragraph you could have written. One of the biggest mistakes men make with women is believing they can win them over by being available. 24/7, you know the trick. You cancel plans with friends when she calls. You reply to every message immediately and make sure she knows you're always there for her. On paper, that sounds like a lot of effort. But in reality, that makes you predictable, embarrassing, and, worse still, forgettable. Think about it. If you're always available, there's no challenge, no excitement, no thrill. She knows that no matter what, you'll pick up the phone, say yes, and drop everything. And when something is too easy to get, it loses its value. This isn't just true for relationships. It's human nature. Apply this to your own life. Remember a time when you were pursuing something important. Perhaps a dream job, a rare item, or even a goal you considered unattainable. The fact that it wasn't readily available only intensified your desire. But once something was obtained effortlessly, it no longer felt so special. The same principle applies here. Women don't want men who are constantly chasing after them. They are attracted to men who have their own passions and priorities in life. Men who sometimes say, "I can't. I'm busy." Men who don't have to drop everything to gain recognition. Why? Because independence is attractive. It shows that you're not desperate. It shows that you have value even outside of your own public eye. The truth is, the more time you spend with her, the less she misses you. But if you create distance, if you show her that your world doesn't revolve around her, then she'll notice your absence. And that's precisely where the absence begins. 4. More mysterious than honest, always. We all know the saying, honesty is the best policy. And of course, honesty plays an important role in relationships. But when it comes to attraction, too much honesty can be counterproductive. Many men believe they can build a connection by revealing everything and sharing all their thoughts, plans, and feelings. In reality, however, they rob the woman of the mystery that fascinates her. Attraction is not rational, but emotional, and nothing awakens stronger feelings than curiosity. If a woman doesn't quite understand what you're talking about, she'll fill in the gaps herself. She'll ask where you're going, who you're spending time with, what's really on your mind. This question confuses her. But if everything is explained down to the smallest detail, if everything is completely open from the start, she'll have nothing left to think about. And if there's nothing to think about, there's nothing for her to pursue. Think about your favorite movies or books. What makes them so exciting? The uncertainty, the unknown. If the story were revealed in the first 5 minutes, you'd lose interest. Women feel the same way about men. A man who always tells you exactly how he feels, what he's doing, and where he's going removes all tension. And without suspense, there is no excitement. In truth, mystery creates value. By not revealing everything, you force them to listen attentively. You force her to think of you, even when you're not there. And that's the secret. Losing you starts in the mind, not the heart. Yes, honesty has its place. But if you want a woman to appreciate your presence, even if she has no interest, remember, it's not what you say to her that makes her lose you, but what you don't do. 5. Never try to compete for her attention. Many men fall into the trap of trying to compete for a woman's attention. They see a photo of her and comment on it immediately, before anyone else does. They notice other men around them and suddenly feel the urge to show them off. They think that if they become crazier, funnier, or more available, she'll finally recognize their worth. Let's be white. That's weak. And women sense that weakness immediately. That's the reality. If you try to win her attention, you've already lost. Why? Because real men don't compete. They attract. A man who knows his worth doesn't care who texts her, who stares at her, or who tries to win her over. He knows his worth speaks for itself. And if she doesn't recognize it, that's her loss. This is precisely where men need to take action. Stop idealizing women. Stop acting like their attention is some kind of trophy you have to fight for. That kind of thinking comes across as desperate. And desperation never deserves respect. The truth is, the more you try and compete, the more she'll turn her attention to someone else. The man who isn't trying as hard. Women are attracted to men who spark interest, not those who ask for supplements. Once you stop competing and start feeling like the jackpot, your entire perception will change. She'll realize that her time, concentration, and energy aren't cheap, and suddenly she'll want more. Therefore, my advice is, wake up. If you're still vying for a woman's attention, you're signaling to her that she's above you. Turn the tables. You are the standard. You're the man she should be competing for. Trust is more addictive than love. That's a hard truth most men have to face. Women aren't primarily attracted to love. They're attracted to confidence. You can shower her with affection, write her long texts, and later prove to her how much she means to you. But if you lack self-confidence, She won't feel this effect. Why? Because love without self-confidence seems like weakness. And weakness isn't attractive. Self-confidence, on the other hand, is attractive. It is the unexpected that makes people pause and pay attention. It's not about being arrogant or putting yourself above others. True self-confidence is quiet. It's about your charisma, the way you speak, the way you go through life without constantly seeking approval. Think about it. How often have you seen a woman choose a man who wasn't the most attractive, or even remotely as good-looking, but who possessed this unexpected self-confidence? That wasn't by chance. Women instinctively respond to self-confidence because it signals strength, stability, and leadership qualities. Love might make her smile, but self-confidence awakens her desire for you, and that's precisely where most men fail. They confuse trust with words, when in reality trust is action. It means making decisions without hesitation. It means considering their opinion instead of simply relaxing for their sake. It's about feeling comfortable even when you're not respected. This kind of self-confidence not only makes you likable, but unforgettable. So here's the call to action. Stop believing that love alone will make her lose you. Love without trust is dependency, and dependency is off-putting. Trust is what will stay with her long after you've broken up. It's what keeps her up at night. It's what makes her miss you, even if she swears she won't. 7. Let her believe she's losing you. Nothing makes a woman lose a man faster than the fear of losing him. It's human nature. People don't value what they have guaranteed. They value what they could lose, and many men undermine this by making themselves a constant presence in a woman's life, even if she doesn't deserve it. That's the truth. If she knows you're always there for her, she has no reason to chase after you, to value you, or to lose you. But as soon as she senses your attention waning, that your energy is no longer focused on her, something changes. Suddenly, she starts to overthink things. What if he turns his attention to someone else? What if another woman catches his eye? What if I miss my chance? This fear is powerful. It's what fuels the desire. But let's be honest, this isn't about manipulation. It's about respecting yourself. You're not trying to put anyone down. You're clearly showing her that your life doesn't revolve around her. You're showing her that if she doesn't value you, someone else will. And it's precisely this realization that makes her feel your absence. The lesson is simple. Stop giving yourself guarantees. Be prepared to end the relationship. Be prepared to give her the space she needs and allow her to imagine a life without you. That's when she'll be most likely to forgive you. Because deep down, nothing torments a woman more than realizing she had a man she can't return to. Basically, and this might sound a bit confusing, women don't really lose the nice man himself. They lose the man who has the strength to leave and leave them with his sense of loss. That's the bitter truth. Most men don't want to hear this. You can be the nicest and most popular guy in the world, but if you don't know how to create space for yourself, she won't appreciate you. She'll forget you. And the man who has enough self-respect not to ask is the man she ends up chasing. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you pressured her too much? Or did your silence perhaps bring her back to you? Share your story in the comments. I'll personally review them and would be happy to get in touch. Offer suggestions and perhaps even support you in your situation. Remember, this channel isn't just about me talking. It's about building a community of men who finally understand female psychology and use it to gain respect instead of losing it. And before I conclude, one more thing. In the next video, we'll be discussing a very important topic. Why a woman might forget you if you pledge your full loyalty to her so early on. So click the subscribe button and activate notifications to be the first to know when I release the next video. See you then.